Yo, welcome to an episode of Superkick Podcast. I'm your host, Ringside P. I know you guys checked out Monday Night Raw. We're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. Come talk about what stood out to me the most. Before I get started, though, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give me feedback. Check out the reel, check out the short, check out the TikTok. Check out me out on the Superkick store. Check me out on Table Ladders and Bumps, baby. Check out the What If. We had the Mastodon Vader versus Big Bronson Reed. Who's going to win? Two Titans collide on What If. Check it out. Let's break it down. Also, preset war for Royal Rumble started. Who's going to Royal Rumble? Let me know. I know I'm going to WrestleMania, but those tickets are too crazy. Royal Rumble tickets wasn't too expensive. It's about roughly around what I thought it was going to be. Definitely less than Mania, but still expensive for what I'm trying to say that. But got me some tickets though, yo. Let's kick it off, right? Go into some quick picks. Or little quick things that stood out. Kofi, win the match, Kofi. Win the match, baby. You so worried about what Xavier Woods doing, trying to be squeaky clean, Mr. Fair. Man, win the match, man. Woods was helping you out. I don't know what happened to the 10-year anniversary of the New Day. They mentioned it last week about it supposed to be the celebration, and we've all was building up getting our emotional batteries ready because we just suspected that Kofi was going to turn on Kofi. The New Day was going to break up or whatever. But for some reason, it didn't happen. I'm happy about that. Maybe they're trying to prepare it a little bit better. Maybe they're waiting for Big E to come back or something. But I would like to see that Woods convinces Kofi to turn heel and both of them together. A change in personality. We still get the New Day, but it's a heel version, maybe a more serious version of the New Day. So I'm looking, hopefully I can get that. We also, speaking of like turmoil between a group, Judgment Day, the street trash got beef, kind of, brewing between the two of them. Dom, who's usually, I don't want to say, push over the doormat in town, but stood up to Finn Balor, man, told Finn, like, yo, I've already beat Damian Priest. I've come a lot closer to the World Heavyweight Championship than you have. You haven't even sniffed that mug in years, baby. And so we'll see what happens between the two of them. Like, maybe it's time for the Judgment Day to break up too as well. Like, all these groups are breaking up. First the Fat Boys break up. Everybody wake up with a problem with Hove, yo. What else we got? I know I mentioned before, Sheamus and Braun Breaker. We getting that. I think we're getting it too soon because I was hoping that we were going to get Braun Breaker and Sheamus we're going to get it for the IC title, but I don't see Sheamus beating Braun Breaker right now. And I thought Sheamus would be the one that beat Braun Breaker for the IC championship to cross off that accolade in Sheamus' Hall of Fame career, right? Maybe Royal Rumble. I'm going to say that. I think we get Sheamus versus Braun Breaker, Royal Rumble, IC title. Sheamus beats Braun Breaker, IC title. That's what I'm going with. What else is next? Oh, other thing, man, I am tired of the monster label that they put on wrestlers or superstars or whatever the case may be. You built up Bronson Reed to be this big monster, right? You had a monster versus monster match, and you keep building him as a monster, and which is cool, but I don't know, man. I think it's old. Like, it just doesn't fit the times. I'm not here for the monster level label. Allow him to go out and just cause chaos, all this kaiju and all this other stuff, man. This dude is, he a beast, he a monster, he a problem out here. Let him just be that. I don't need that monster label, just let him just go ahead and just do work. I know you got to add the adjective to it to just make him seem larger than life, no pun intended, but I think his actions speak for himself, like, it's not making me afraid of Bronson Reed even more because you label him a monster. He's not really doing monster like tactics. Like, he's not just destroying stuff out there. He's calculated in a sense. Like, yeah, it's destruction. He's smashing people, tsunami people through the announce table and whatnot. Or you having like I say, monster versus monster type matches. But still, I need monster level carnage for you to call dude a monster. And I ain't getting that yet. And that's no shot to Bronson Reed. It's just a label. Or just completely unleash this dude off the hinges, man. Let him just destroy the WWE. Raw is war anyway. Let him be the embodiment of that. What we got next, y'all? Dakota Kai is back. It's been a minute. I hope she can stay healthy. I'm happy to see her back with Damage Control. I'm hoping that Damage Control now can even build even more momentum and go a little bit further. You got Io Sky as number one contender for the Women's Heavyweight Championship. Maybe Damage Control can get back into the tag team hunt. And now the numbers games can kind of even out. They've been dealing with PFC so much. You even had like a little clicked up between the Party Girls and Lyra Valkyria, you know, and Kaden Carter, Kaden and Candice. And Damage Control is now 3. We still missing Asuka. You know, wait when she comes back, it could be 4. But Damage Control can go. And Dakota Kai hasn't had the opportunity to properly go like I think she can go just due to injury. So hope she can stay healthy and you can see what she really got and working with out there. What we're gonna get into next, y'all. Next we get into I talked about a little bit about the No Celebration. Let's get into I don't even know what we're getting into. Let's get into Superkick shoutouts. So first week I did a Superkick shout out. I shout out lip gloss and ladders. The following week I decided to shout out Just Laying It Down. 2 incredible content creators, you know, group. I think just Laying Down still kind of grows himself as a group. You know, I know he gets a team behind him, which is cool. But like I said, they all do dope content. Another person for this week's Superkick shout out is Main Event Dame. Main Event Dame came across my radar from his reels. You know, and dude, he's funny. He's creative with the reels. They're always entertaining. I'm sure you've seen the reels come across your page. If you haven't, you're missing out. Make sure you check out his page. And I just he's like an enigma. Like he doesn't show his face. You know, you never seen his face. He wears a mask. Like it's the perfect like gimmick in a sense, you know. And he just makes great content when it comes to the real and comedy, you know. And he's a real cool dude, man. Willing to chop it up with you at any given time and moment, you know. Like, and he supports, you know, like he reciprocates the love back. You know, you show him some love, he does it back, you know, sells it back to you. Make sure you check out Main Event Dame. Like I say, you're missing out if you haven't checked out his page and his reels and stuff like that and his content. I'm trying to push him to do more lives and maybe do a YouTube channel or something like that. But man, you definitely gotta check out Main Event Dame. Main Event Dame is this week's Superkick shout out. I'm keeping it quick over here, y'all. What else? Topic number 4. Where's the Wyatts? We found out, right? Found Testament was looking for the Wyatts. They devised a sneak attack. You know, Miz being the Miz, doing Miz tough. You know, they got the upper hand on the Wyatts, and I didn't like how everything went down. Right, you had Miz, he took out Aaron Rowan, what made sense because he's the biggest out of the Wyatts, right? Pause, and then hits him with a chair. The chair takes him out, and I'm like, man, like that chair shouldn't have took him out that easy. He's Aaron Rowan. He's supposed to be that real imposing figure in the Wyatts, you know. And yeah, maybe multiple chair shots, but I would have liked to see AOP. It should have been AOP to take out Eric Rowan. Even though, I mean, that kind of throws off the numbers or whatever the case may be, but 2 big dudes versus other big dude, that would have made sense. But the Wyatts get laid out, and you just left with Uncle Hottie laughing like the Joker in the middle of the ring, like just psychotic, like he enjoys the pain and the torment. And maybe something he knows something else is coming their way. Will we get? Can we? Even though we got the War Games match, you know, men and women's versions of that so far, is it still room to have a traditional Survivor Series match on Survivor Series? You know, classic 4-on-4. Can we still get that? Is it too late, or would it be too much? You know, does War Games supersede the regular Survivor Series? I think I would like to see a traditional Survivor Series match between Final Testament and the Wyatts. I don't want to see some kind of crazy no hold brawl rules or something like that. No hold brawls. Um, Match between them or extreme rules matching like that. Like I think I do want to see like elimination, and I would like to see it all in with Karrion Kross being the last dude or the Miz. It ends with the Miz being the last member left of the Final Testament team against the Y6, and you just see what happens that way. But what do you guys think? Are you guys enjoying the Y6? Are you looking forward to this Y6 Final Testament rivalry? It's time to push Karrion Kross to the moon. Or maybe not the moon. It's time to really push Karrion Kross. I don't think he's getting the proper take that he deserves. He does such a great job. Man, I don't think he gets used, but I think they can use him more, man. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Next thing I'm getting into is how would you book it? This week, how would you book it? Is Damian Priest. Priest came out looking strong this week on the promo tip, right? And you really heard the New Yorker in him, you know, the accent, the way he was talking, and it felt natural. And I felt like maybe he was trying to come around on his own once the initial feud with Gunther started, you know, and it actually they made it more personal and more real. And then that's when he was I think allowed to kind of be himself and not really so much of a character kind of, you know. Excuse me. And I think that's when you see the wrestlers are the best version of themselves, when they actually can kind of just go out there and not pretend, you know, to be anything. They can just be themselves, right? As I was saying. So when you got Damian Priest, and he's been booked strong, so in past weeks, you know, every since SummerSlam, really, he's been booked strong. Even in the loss to Gunther, you know, wasn't a clean finish. You know, you had heel attack, you had Finn Balor interfere. You go into the Twin Terrors, you know, and then they go against in the match, and they still look good. And I don't know, man. I like the way they're doing with Damian Priest. My one question is, can Priest still stand in the land of main eventers when Drew McIntyre comes back, when Seth Rollins comes back? When CM Punk comes back, when Seth Rollins actually moves back to the main event, you know, or next year if Damian Priest still ends up on Monday Night Raw, what happens if Roman Reigns comes over? What if Cody Rhodes comes over? What are we doing now to help keep Damian Priest at that main event level, you know? And he just kind of just going to get washed away or caught up into everyone else's momentum, you know. And we know we got this match with Gunther coming up in Survivor Series. We know we got Finn Balor that's going to interfere in this match to cost Damian Priest this match again, and then we're going to get Finn versus Damian Priest again, you know. But then, like I say, after that, what's next for Damian Priest? Who would you have him face? What are some good opponents for Damian Priest to keep him in the main event status? Let me know. Comment below. Number 6, baby. Number 6. Bloodline. Well, OG Bloodline, right? 3 of the 4 members on Monday Night Raw, trying to figure out who the 5th member gonna be, right? And as I look at this, we getting back to the classic OG Bloodline moments with Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy, right? But this time around, Jay and Jimmy have switched personalities. Jay is the fun one, and Jimmy now is the most serious, you know, more aggressive towards Sammy. You know, Jimmy still does Jimmy things, but in these interactions, Jay is the fun dude. You know, he's smiling, you know, dapping up with Sami Zayn, you know, while Jimmy is looking like he's ready to punch Sami Zayn in his face. And then so they all go about their separate ways to kind of figure out who's gonna be the 5th member is going to be. You get Sami Zayn to go add Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins in this whole Bloodline storyline, like, it's crazy that the Bloodline storyline is almost the MCU. Like, there's so many things that are tied into the Bloodline storyline. So many different pieces and people that are intertwined, and they can spin off or do other stuff, but eventually it leads back to the Bloodline storyline. Like, Seth has always been intertwined with Roman because of the Shield. And the split and the friction and the heels and I mean the years and stuff like that. And I say backstabbing each other. And so you still got that aspect between Roman and Seth. You got KO over here. Well, I'm sure that at some point Sami Zayn is going to try to go talk to KO. But you got KO over here, who's dealt with the Bloodline for years. He has a relationship with Sami Zayn as well. They all kind of recruit the fifth member. Let's just skip to the chase, right? I haven't seen the spoilers. I prefer not to. I would have been cool with 4-on-4. I don't know if they made it to the point of having 5-on-5. I don't want to see Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed in there because they just don't fit in the storyline, right? It's just two random pieces. Seth Rollins fits, but Bronson Reed not so much. He was just being in it because of Seth Rollins. I saw Jey Uso talking to Rey Mysterio. Nah, I'm cool with that, right? I saw Jimmy going to talk to Braun Breaker, which doesn't make any sense at all. Braun Breaker, although a phenomenal athlete, just took out your brother and regained the IC title. Excuse me. Why would your brother want to team up with him in War Games? So that didn't make any sense. I know people talk about Cody Rhodes and not being a part of this, but I can see it, right? It's a favor for a favor. Roman did Cody a solid at Bad Blood, teaming up with him to take down Solo and Jacob. It was only right for Cody to return the favor because that's the type of character Cody is, And then naturally KO will join because he hates Cody Rhodes and they got the feud and they got the beef. So that will play out. If we have to do 5-on-5, those are two people that I see. But I'm totally fine with 4 OG Bloodline members versus 4 Bloodline 2.0 members with someone from the Bloodline 2.0, a new debut coming out to kind of help them defeat Bloodline. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. But I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Let me know. Last thing I want to talk about is, so we talking about War Games matches. It looks like we seeing the formation of the women's War Game match, right? Liv, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, with Bianca Belair versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Io Sky. They're possibly going to add a fifth member to each one too as well, but all the time has been put into the Bloodline storyline to build up for this War Game match, right? And once again, the women get the scraps of everything. Like, you get matches that just sometimes don't make sense. You get, oh man, here's a garbage match. Let's put all the women in the match because we have a women's match on the show. Just to say that we did, at sometimes it feels like, the storylines aren't as superior. I feel like the effort isn't put into the women's storyline as much as the men's storylines are. Like the Rhea Liv storyline is great, but when everything else suffers or everything else is just kind of like trash, it's like, man, like it sucks. We waited for so long for a women's mid-card title to get one. And then we think we're gonna get maybe an IC title. Maybe we only got the IC title. We only got the US title right now, but just because we had the election in the USA and patriotism and stuff like that, being patriotic or whatnot because of that. But man, I hate that I feel like the women get garbage time, and they deserve so much more. So hopefully that can change. But what do you guys think about that? My last thing for the week is I want to ask you guys a question. The question for the week, right? And we've had a lot of dream matches, a lot of big matches through our time of wrestling, being fans of wrestling and whatnot. We've seen Rock and Cena, there's some matches that we wish we would have seen. Undertaker versus Sting, What are, in your opinion, you guys' opinion, What are some dream matches that are still out there left that we might want to see? Give me two people, man. Let me know. Comment below. What are some dream matches that you want to see? It can be within the same company. It can be cross promotions, whatever the case may be. But what are some dream matches that you think are still out there that are worth seeing? Like I say, let me know. Comment below. As always, thank you guys for checking me out. Check out if we made it this far. South of heaven on that subscribe button, baby. South of heaven on that subscribe button, baby. But man, check me out. Table and bumps. Check out the what ifs. Check out the reels, the shorts, the TikToks, the Superkick store. Me on Spotify. Comment, share, give me feedback. Until next time, man. Adios. Peace.